Crypto God here, and today I got Ty from Rook Token. How the f you doing, Ty?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm pretty excited.
I can hear that.
We've been trying to get this on the books for a little while, and see his reaction, folks. For the people at home, don't realize there is an immediate shift from before recording to recording. It's like I flip a switch. It just lets you know it's right next to the prostate. So we're gonna go.
It's the best place for it to be.
Hey! So tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your project and what's going on.
All right. Well, my name's Ty. I started a brand called R0OK Clothing in 2019 based for mental health awareness because I was having trouble. I've had trouble all my life with mental health and used to have trouble with addiction and just I wanted to find a way to try to help people, and at the time I was drawing a lot. So basically I started a brand up and started making mental health oriented t-shirts. That's where it started. And then so I did that for over a year and a half, and it turned into not a massive global thing, but I've got, followers all over the world.
Right. As one should.
I started getting into crypto, and then I just had this crazy idea of merging the two, of taking R0OK Clothing and making a crypto project with it. So basically I created the R0OK token, which is now a mental health charity token, which I've only heard of a couple others out there that have anything to do with mental health. So that kind of helped us out because it's not just a charity token. It's a charity token that's got an established brand behind it. I'm fully documented with the token. I have been since day one. So yeah, man, it's a little bit about me, a little bit about where the token came from, a little bit about R0OK. So yeah.
Well, there we go. Pretty good mission, if I do say so myself.
Yeah.
Because we all know I struggle with a little bit of mental health. I mean, not like danger to myself, but well, maybe just a little bit, but more just like a danger to others.
Tiny bit. Yeah, a danger to somebody. We don't know who, but one of your personalities.
Well, there's a few of us that don't get along with the others. But as it were, man, like that's one of the things. So I put out so much different kinds of content, and it's really interesting to me because there's a lot of people, just because of the consistency of the content and whatnot, I get a lot of different kinds of messages, Ty, about how it helps their mental health and stuff, and how they don't specifically word it that way, but I hear a lot of people that say, my content gives them a reason to live, which is basically saying it helps their mental health.
Yeah.
And it's crazy when you think a lot of that content's just jokes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, to have something reliable to go to, I think, is really essential. And I think that's why doing things like this podcast and my other channels and stuff, I get to help so many people. When you look at the fact that last month, my one channel had over 5 million views.
Congratulations on that, by the way.
Thank you. Not quite crypto god, not quite yet, but to think that it's having a big enough impact on people that, it's getting watched so much, and there's about a quarter of those people that make up majority of those views. So the content that I make for a lot of people is a safe place. And I think that's something really, really special,
Yeah, absolutely it is. That's kind of what I tried it with R0OK, but it didn't really, with the clothing brand, but it didn't really go so well because we don't have brands don't have online communities, chat rooms and stuff like that. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to also start the crypto side of R0OK. We actually have basically our Discord server is basically announced as a safe space. If you just need somewhere to talk or need someone to talk to, someone to relate to, someone to vent to, anything like that. Like that is one of the biggest points of what makes Rook different from all the other charity tokens, is that they say, yeah, we're a charity token, but like, what are you actually doing to help your people out or your community out? Like, sure, like, they'll make donations and whatnot, but that's not actually them being there for their community. And I'm active in my server. If I'm awake, I'm active in the server.
Mm-hmm.
So 16, 18, sometimes 20 hours a day, I'm active in the server. You can go in there and basically, if it's not in those 4 or 5 hours while I'm sleeping, I'm sitting there talking to people, engaging with people. I'm even DMing people that need to talk privately, stuff like that. And there's even people who just originally just bought my clothing and then saw the crypto side of it and were like, hey, I bought your clothing, last year, and it's cool you're doing this, and now you have the community coming together and stuff. And so, yeah, I completely agree about the content and the safe space thing, because that's kind of why I started the brand, is because I wanted a safe space for myself, and now it's given me a platform to create a safe space for other people. So yeah, man, I completely relate with you on that. It's essential,
Right. I think it's so massive to just have just the whole thing, man, just having a place where people can gather. And like, for instance, on my servers that I'm a part of, one of the things that I will do is I will go into the servers and I'll like just drop into a voice chat and I'll let my people know, hey, yo, I'm here. And I'll sit and I'll listen to music and I'll draw. And some of them will just come in and sit down with me and they'll tune into my Spotify and just watch me draw and stuff, And it's a way for people to feel less alone. And I think that's really important.
It is. Because you got to make them, you want them to not just identify with, but like you want them to feel the emotion. So, them seeing you and sitting there with you, listening to music while you draw, that gives them feeling and an emotional connection to what you're doing.
Yeah. And I do it so that even if I do end up deafened because I'm having a rough day, right? I do just want them to feel like they're connected to something.
Right.
And another thing that I did is I created a auxiliary server that's like just working on just building up the Patreon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just this whole thing of working on just bringing people together and making people feel like they belong. Because this auxiliary server is connected to my Patreon, but it's a free server. So we have people that they can't afford the Patreon every month, but they have a place they can still go.
Right. Absolutely. And that's kind of what we, just because Rook is a token, like it's a crypto token, that's the label. That doesn't mean that our community is just for holders, Like, I don't push it on people that, go buy the token. Like I don't push, like, you don't belong here if you're not buying. Like, that's not at all. And I've seen that in a lot of servers and groups out of, like, oh, if you're not a holder, basically you have no say. Like, that's not how I want Rook to be. I want it to be like a safe space for, holders and non-holders, just people who want to hang out, but I want it to be a safe space where anybody can go. And, we are going to have, right now the Discord server is set up with like a ranking system based on holders, based on how many tokens they hold. It's based on military rank. And we're going to do like special events and stuff like that, and giveaways and contests for certain ranks. But we're trying to figure out a separate ranking system that is not based on holders. It's going to be based on like not shilling, but sharing information, through Facebook, through any social media, through basically so you can build your own rank without actually buying, millions of tokens or whatever. So basically we're giving a place for people to hang out. We're giving them, a common thing to talk about. Like these past few days, we've been talking about soccer a lot because the Euro's going on. But yeah, it's kind of, it's turning into a solid community, because our first couple of days we had it was mainly on Telegram. We only had a couple hundred people, like the first couple of days, like during the pre-sale, and then it just blew up to like 1,000 people real quick. But then the Telegram died out, and I was like, I don't because before all the crypto stuff, I never got involved with Telegram. I was always on Discord.
Yeah, I mean, Discord's my home, homie.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like that for me too. And then like I came into the crypto world and they're like, oh, you have to have a Telegram group and you got to join their group. And I remember the first token that I looked into, they didn't have a Discord server. And even now, it's not common for projects to have Discord servers. And so I kind of directed the Telegram group to become a Discord group. And now, we've got a Spanish channel in there. We've got non-Rook crypto channel. We've got a Rook crypto channel. We've got a meme channel. We've got just a hangout channel. There's a mental health, like just discussing channel. So yeah, it's just like it's becoming a strong community, and it's not based on, like, it's not an elite thing. Like, oh, I hold more than you, so it's not an elite thing like that. It's
Right.
Literally where I have somebody who holds like 2% of the entire, or no, it's like 1.5% of the total supply, and he's interacting with people who don't hold anything besides what we airdrop. And that's the beautiful thing about the community, is that there is nobody's better than anybody. Like, we're all just equal. We're all here for the same reason. We're all here for the same mission. We all just we want to create awareness that mental health is a serious thing. It's a problem that is not paid attention to publicly, and we're trying to change that. We're trying to use the platform of crypto and of the clothing brand together to bring awareness to mental health in a way that hasn't been done before. And the communities, that's the biggest part about it, because if you don't have a community, you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to have continued support. You're not going to have a safe space to talk about mental health. It's just going to be another, like another brand name that doesn't do anything type thing. But,
Right.
Our community, that's the biggest thing behind Rook, is that it's not just crypto. It's not just clothing. It's a community, an actual community of people from all over the world speaking different languages, but we all have the same goal, and we all have the same mission. So, yeah, man.
And like, a lot of people view these things as family.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I try to foster relationships with people in the crypto space and the people that I'm meeting and all of that sort of stuff, because it's really important. It's important to get to know people and to have those connections. And I know that there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And not everything's always so black and white. Like, some projects take off slow, some projects take off fast, and it can be an emotional roller coaster.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
It really can.
Yeah, it can take a real emotional toll on people. And people just coming into crypto don't understand that. But it can absolutely be an emotional roller coaster. And, I'm not going to say that Rook is not going to be an emotional roller coaster, because it is. It already has been. But it's going to be a positive emotional roller coaster, because I've got people I'm talking to about partnerships in the mental health industry that are going to partner. One is going to partner with the crypto, and the other, I'm not sure if it's going to be the Rook brand in general or just the crypto, and that's going to be, I'm not going to say groundbreaking, but it's something new to the crypto. The entire crypto world is a mental health charity partnering with a token project.
Right.
And we're ironing out like what we can do together and how we can do good together, but it's basically going to be unifying the mental health community and the crypto community. And I think that's huge, because that's not an easy bridge to build by any means.
Oh, it's really not.
It's not. It's really not.
But I think, there's so much room in the space to do stuff. Now, Tyler, Mr. Ty, we are very short on time on this. I want to appreciate you coming out, but you got to come back out for part 2.
I am down for that, my friend.
We got to have you back out for part 2. Absolutely.
Anytime.
And I'd rather us get a short interview out now, because there's been a lot of stuff. You got hurricanes going on, it's your birthday.
Yeah.
About
that.
So in the honor of your birthday,
Don't do it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Tyler. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Tyler. Anyway.
That was you just touched me in places I haven't been touched before.
Well, folks, you know what time it is. You gotta like, comment, and subscribe and share with all of your friends. And you gotta ring that bell so you can get notifications for all the things that are coming out. Like new projects, new applications, all different sorts of things. And the last thing you need to do when you get some Rook token is hold all that shit.